Park Racing, exclusively in Owensboro on Cable Channel 2. Ellis Park Racing on Cable Channel 2. Bet on it. You'll love it.
Good evening and welcome to Ellis Park, or today at Ellis Park. No, the show is not ending, it's just now starting. Hi, my name is Clint Goins. Rusty Sharp is in Lexington. David Wallace is calling a football game, and all other able-bodied persons managed to wrangle themselves out of this job, so you're stuck with me. However, have no fear, I have in my hand the official Rusty Sharp Today at Ellis Park starter kit, and he assures me that if I follow his simple step-by-step instructions, that we'll get through this thing with no problem at all. So, let's start off the first race, shall we? The first race today at Ellis Park will be conducted over a distance of 6 furlongs for maiden fillies and mares 3 years old and up. We've got a field of 11 going postward for a claiming tag of $5,000, and let's check out that post parade. Number 1, Rosetta Sue, trained by Robert L. Williams, William Trollo, the jockey. Number 2, Miss Dry Weather, owned and trained by Tom Hickman, Ron Chandler aboard. 3, Lady Safety, Steve Ray, the jockey, trained by Glenn Thomason. 4 is, there she is, Edna's Edge, owned and trained by William T. Hayes, Jesse Garcia aboard. 5, Kathy Babe, owned and trained by Coy L. McMahon, I guess, Roy Fletcher. Number 6, Letty C. Bell, Mike James, the jockey, Jack Harmon, the trainer. 7, Rosarita, Michael G. Collins, the trainer, Mary Dozer aboard. Number 8, Fortifier, Danny Cox, the jockey, Michael W. Lindsay, the trainer. 9, Hugo Point, Danny Soto, the jockey, Jerry T. Burkhart, the trainer. Number 10, Practical, Eric R. Reed, the trainer, Rick Moss, the jockey. And number 11, rounding out a field of 11, GJ's Girl, Kevin Albritton, the jockey, owned and trained by Gene M. Yalburn. Anyway, the track handicapper at Ellis Park today liked the numbers 1, 6, and 2, so let's see how the patrons bet them at Ellis Park this afternoon. Okay, let's see. Number 1 was Rosetta Sue at 6 to 5. Number 8 is getting some action, Fortifier at 9 to 1. 10 is at 2 to 1. That's Practical. And let's see, get a little quick flash here. Number 2, Miss Dry Weather, now at 9 to 1. 10, 9 to 5, Practical. And it looks like, let's see, I guess number 1, 6 to 5, which is Rosetta Sue, is the favorite. Now, it says in this handbook of mine to go to step 1 and repeat the conditions. So, once again, I'll tell you the distance we're going is 6 furlongs for maiden fillies and mares 3 years old and up, with a purse of $3,200. And here's track announcer Bob Jeffers. I hope they're ready back there in the control room. Roll it, fellas.
Post. They're off. Hugo Point is away with some early speed. Lady Safety goes between horses. Miss Dry Weather. Just behind the speed is Rosetta Sue. They continue down the back stretch. Running up between horses goes Practical. As they run to near the top of the turn, Practical putting a nose up. Miss Dry Weather is second to the turn, a length and a half. Hugo Point is on to be third. Lady Safety is fourth, a half up the rail. Rosetta Sue, Fortifier, and Rosita from further back. Then Lady C. Bell. 4 lengths further back, GJ's Girl, Kathy Babe, Edna's Edge. They come on to the quarter pole. Practical has the lead by a length. Second is Miss Dry Weather. Big run on the outside by Fortifier, and they come to the top of the lane. Practical on top by a length. Miss Dry Weather coming up the inside is on to challenge. Moving up on the outside, Fortifier, stretch run. Practical has the lead, holding on by a length. Miss Dry Weather is second. Fortifier is third, stretch run. Practical now opening daylight on the field.
And under the wire first, it's Practical, the victor in the first race at Ellis Park. Practical is a 3-year-old bay filly by Ray's Word out of Cintura, C-I-N-T-U-R-A, and ridden to victory by Kevin Albritton. Taking the first race, returned mutuals of 460, 360, and 240. Miss Dry Weather came in second there, $6, 320, and Rosetta Sue at 220. The quinella for this race was $30.60. And that brings us up, of course, to race number 2. Race number 2 is 7 furlongs in length for fillies and mares 3 years old and up. We got a field of 12 going postward for a claiming tag of $2,500. And let's check out that post parade, shall we? Number 1, Jejune, J-E-G-U-N-E, trained by Wendell Lamb. 109, Dana Robinson, the jocker. 1A, Royalty Queen, Wendell Lamb, also the trainer, of course. Joe Deegan aboard. Number 2, Falcon Blue, owned and trained by Johnny Booker, Kevin Becker aboard. 2B, excuse me, we skipped 2B, didn't we? 3, Outrageous 2, Mike James, the jockey. Thad Harmon, rather, the trainer. 4, Cascade Lou, Travis Hightower aboard. Number 5, Sweet and Easy, Charles J. Hunley, the trainer. Fred De La Guardia, the jockey. Number 6, Miss Better, owned and trained by Jack Harmon. Eusebio Razzo Jr., the jockey. Number 7, Lady Mintia, Mike Moran, the jockey, owned and trained by Kenneth R. Sadler. Number 8, Bird's Pegasus, William B. Montgomery, the trainer. Ron Fletcher, the jockey. Working our way back now to number 9. Number 10 we are. Silver Plaid, Dana Zook, the jockey. And it appears that that's all we have. Now on the morning line, the morning handicapper favored 3, 8, and 6. That being Outrageous 2, Bird Pegasus, and Miss Better. So let's see how the patrons bet them in the second. Okay, let's see. Number 3 is at 5-2. That's Outrageous 2. Number 7 is at 5-1. 9's at 6-1. That's Impressive Ruby. Let's see, what's number 6 doing right now? It's 16-1. Miss Better not doing as well as the track handicapper thought she would. Okay, once again, I'm going to tell you that the distance is 7 furlongs for fillies and mares 3 years old and up, with a purse of $3,200 up for grabs. And hopefully I'm trying to stretch a little longer as I can so they can get it queued up back there. And if you have the race, fellas, please let it roll.
They are at the post. They're off. Out swiftly on the lead, Royalty Queen to the top. Cascade Lou comes alongside, full of speed to the front of the field. Cascade Lou on to the top by a length. Royalty Queen from the far outside, Impressive Ruby. Bird's Pegasus, Silver Plat among the first 5. Length and a half off Lady Mintia. Along the rail, Outrageous 2. Gap of 2 lengths to Jejune. 3 lengths further back, Sweet and Easy. Another 2 back is Miss Better. Couple of lengths back, Falcon Blue, and they go to the top of the turn. Impressive Ruby battles for the lead, overtakes it. Cascade Lou is second a length. Bird's Pegasus is 3rd. Royalty Queen is 4th through the turn. Lady Mintia continues to move up from off the pace. Backing up, Silver Plaid. Moving up is Outrageous 2, Jejune. Sweet and Easy comes up strongly between horses. Here's Falcon Blue looking for room. Miss Better runs up between horses. They're past the quarter pole. Cascade Lou coming back after the leaders. Impressive Ruby between horses. Bird's Pegasus comes driving up the outside, and here comes Lady Mintia into the hunt. As they come down the stretch, Bird's Pegasus holding on to a length and a half, and Lady Mintia digs in. As they come down the stretch, Lady Mintia up the outside of the track takes the lead from Bird's Pegasus.
Lady Mintia under the wire first in the second race at Ellis Park. Lady Mintia is a 5-year-old bay mare by Night Counter out of Nancy Knox, ridden to victory by Mike Moran. And taking the second race, return mutuals of 1260, 620, and 440. Bird's Pegasus, 660 and 680. And Miss Better, number 6, at 620. The exacta was 8160, Quinella 5560, and the early daily double 48 and 40. That, of course, brings us to race number 3 at Ellis Park this afternoon, and it's going for 6 furlongs. This is the distance, rather, for maidens 3 years old and up. We have a field of 12 going postward for a claiming tag of $10,000. Now let's check out that post-parade. Number 1. Let me turn my page right quick. Lotto winner, Brian Peck, the jockey. 2, Dad's Orphan, trained by Robert D. Winstead, Mike Moran, aboard. Number 3, get turned around there, Andersonville, Phil M. Hoswald, I guess, the trainer. William Trollo, the jockey. 4, George's Pest, Vernon D. Herman, the trainer. Dana Robinson, aboard. 5, Best Way Joe, trained by Jerry Romans. Murray Dozer will be the jockey. Number 6 is Time for the Top, James O. Garrison, the trainer. Fred De La Guardia, the jockey. 7, Big Hill Road, ridden by Mike James, trained by Ricky J. Short. Number 8, Lazy Bee, owned and trained by Herbert K. Stevens, Charles Woods Jr., the jockey. Number 9, Super Leader, trained by Bernard Flint, ridden by Scott Miller. And number 10, rounding out a field of 10, is Dunboy, trained by John Gross Jr. Colleen Tausen, caught myself looking at the monitor there, will be the jockey. The morning handicapper liked the numbers 9, 8, and 3 in the third at Ellis Park, and let's see what the patrons had to say about that. Let's see here. 9 is going off at 4-1. Looks like number 4 is at 5-2. Number 4 is George's Pest. Let's see what number 3. 3 is 11-1. That's Andersonville. And number 8 is 2-1. It's Lazy Bee. It looks like number 4, George's Pest, will be the favorite. It appears to be at the third race at Ellis. Let's see. I should also tell you again, once more, that the third race at Ellis Park will be 6 furlongs for maidens 3 years old and up, with a purse of $4,100 up for grabs. And once again, let's check out track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. Head-to-head break before Best Way Joe gets a head up on George's Pest. Between horses, Big Hill Road, and they continue down the back stretch. Lotto winner moving up on the leaders along the rail. Super Leader from farther out. Lazy Bee goes between horses. Dunboy to far outside. Dad's Orphan along the rail. Time for the Top, and they're at the top of the turn. Big Hill Road onto the front by a length and a half. Super Leader runs up to be second a half. Strongly between horses comes Lazy Bee a half. Lotto winner is fourth by 3. Dad's Orphan is fifth through the turn. Time for the Top, running from off the pace. 3 lengths back is Best Way Joe. Dunboy, Andersonville, George's Pest, and they're past the quarter pole. Big Hill Road is the horse to beat top of the lane. He's on top a couple of lengths. Super Leader. Lazy Bee between horses. Lotto winner on the inside. From much further back, Time for the Top, driving the center of the track. Now down the lane, the lead shortens. Big Hill Road has it by a length. Coming up the outside, Super Leader. Down the lane, Big Hill Road, Super Leader charging the inside. Lotto winner the inside.
Super Leader takes it at the very end. The victor in the third race at Ellis Park today. Super Leader is a 4-year-old dark bay gelding by Mr. Leader out of Superstar, ridden to victory by Scott Miller. And taking the third race, return mutuals of 860, 580, and 460. Big Hill Road, 1740 and 1220, the number 7 horse. And number 1, Lotto winner, ridden by Brian Peck, paid $860. Quinella for this race, the third, was $78.40. That brings us to race number 4, but not yet. We're going to take a break first. Back in a minute.
At the Coachman in Wesleyan Park Plaza, Owensboro, you'll always find the best for your fella. And you'll always find the largest selection of Austin Reed suits and blazers in the tri-state. The Coachman has the most popular styles and colors, plus expert alterations from the Coachman's own tailor. Every suit is a perfect fit. Austin Reed, the very best from the Coachman. That's the Coachman in Wesleyan Park Plaza, Owensboro.
These are America's leading premium beers. They all claim to stand for something pretty impressive. But if you take away the ones that aren't naturally carbonated, and the ones that aren't fully krausened, and the ones that aren't brewed with pure artesian spring water, these two stand alone. Old Style and Old Style Light. And no matter which one you choose, you'll be enjoying America's best brewed premium beer.
Clint Eastwood is a little upset.
Seems some misguided individuals out there are abusing our public lands, and I don't like it. And I don't think you do either. Vandalizing parks and robbing historic sites or overrunning wild areas, those are ours, and we have to save them. As I see it, these clowns can either clean up their act or get out of town.
Write Take Pride in America. Post Office Box 1339, Jessup, Maryland, 20794.
Now we've paid the live bill, back to racing. The fourth race will be again over 6 furlongs. It's the fourth in a row for fillies and mares 3 years old and up. We've got a field of 11 going postward for a claiming tag of $3,500. And let's see that post parade. Number 1 is Rose Petal, trained by Jerry T. Burkhart, ridden by Frank Huff. Having a little trouble there. 1A, Tiger V, also trained by J.T. Burkhart, of course. Mike Moran, the jockey. 2, Miss Family Doctor, Joe Deegan, the jockey, trained by Johnny Booker. Number 3, Nobody Moves, Jerry Hammond, the trainer. Travis Hightower aboard. Number 4, Frida Ack, owned and trained by Billy G. Asherbranner, Danny Soto aboard. 5, Lisa's Tiger, Vernon D. Herman, the trainer. Dana Robinson, the jockey. 6, Prissy Girl, Freddie Burton, the trainer. Dana Zook aboard. And there's 7, Niagara Lady, owned and trained by Dotson H. Skaggs, Jesse Garcia riding that one. Number 8, Hawaiian Gem, owned and trained by Jackie T. Stonecipher, Colleen Tausen, the jockey. 9, Raise a Tiger, Robert D. Winstead, the trainer. Danny Cox, the jockey. And number 10, Tracy Lynn, Stephen Williams, the trainer. Eusebio Razzo Jr. is the jockey. Okay, the track handicapper in the fourth picked 5, 4, and 2 to be the favorites, and let's see how the patrons bet them. Okay, Lisa's Tiger, number 5 horse, is at 9 to 5. Frida Ack is now at 5 to 1. You can see, of course, on your screen. And Tiger V, a lot of Tiger names in this race, is at 2 to 1. And it looks like number 5, Lisa's Tiger, will be the favorite going into the race. 3 minutes to post. Any other horses getting action? No, they're all pretty much long shots, aren't they? Well, once again, I will tell you that this is a race of 6 furlongs for fillies and mares 3 years old and up, with a purse of $3,600. And if our director, Steve Glass, has the tape queued up, we'll take a look at that fourth race at Ellis.
They're off. Head-to-head break out of the starting gate. Nobody Moves, perhaps ahead up. Miss Family Doctor. Frida Ack is between horses. They continue down the backstretch, battling for the lead. Prissy Girl runs up from between horses to overtake the lead. Raise a Tiger at the outside, second and neck. Frida Ack is third at the top of the turn. Running up between horses, Lisa's Tiger. Much further out, Tracy Lynn is into the hunt. Hawaiian Jim is sixth. Miss Family Doctor along the rail. Tiger V to far outside. Trailing the field, Nobody Moves, and they come on through the turn. Tracy Lynn continues to run up the outside to go head-to-head with Prissy Girl for the lead. Miss Family Doctor moves up swiftly now between horses, has Lisa's Tiger right over the shoulder, and Frida Ack, with plenty of room at the rail, comes driving into the top of the lane. Tracy Lynn has a slim lead. Miss Family Doctor between horses. Lisa's Tiger. From further back, Niagara Lady comes running, stretch drive. Tracy Lynn is on top by 3. Miss Family Doctor is second. Big move on the inside, Nobody Moves on Lisa's Tiger.
Tracy Lynn takes it in the fourth at Ellis, and Tracy Lynn is a 4-year-old dark brown Orbay filly by Royal Design out of Fair Bonita, ridden to victory by Eusebio Razzo Jr., and taking the fourth race, return mutuals of 37.40, 11.40, and 5.40. The number 2 horse, which happened to be, let's see here, which one was that? Miss Family Doctor, paid $380 and $260. Number 5, Lisa's Tiger, ridden by Dana Robinson, paid $280. The exacta for this race $119.40. The Quinella, $46.20. That, of course, brings us up to race number 5. I'm reaching for my paper here. Let's see what the race number 5 is. 6 furlongs again for fillies and mares 3 years old and up. We've got a field of 12 going postward for a claiming tag of $15,000. And let's check out that post parade. Number 1, Ms. Ullering. Gravo Foley, the trainer. Danny Soto, the jockey. Number 2, Gold Walk. Must have skipped 1A. Marilyn K. Monavon, the trainer. Darrell Foster, the jockey. 3, Opalina Fay. Darrell Foster aboard. Trained by Billy E. Adams. 4, Cadillac's Love. Owned and trained by Jack E. Sowards. Mary Doser will be aboard. Number 5, Liz Wood. Eusebio Razo Jr., the jockey. Jerry Hammond, the trainer. Number 6, Hold Your Bet. Raymond S. Lawrence Jr., the trainer. Mike McDowell, the jockey. 7, Dedicated Dame. Patrick S. Autry trained this horse. Be ridden by Mike Moran. Number 8, Forum's Lady. S.L. Duncan, the trainer. And Dana Robinson will be the jockey. Number 9, Redheads Are Lucky. Jeff Sheets trained. Fred De La Guardia rides. Number 10, Meadowlark. Winston R. Skaggs, the trainer. Mitchell Humphrey. And number 11, running out a field of 12, Nana Flight, N-A-N-A Flight. Brian Peck, the jockey. Well, the track handicapper at Ellis for the 5th race liked the numbers 7, 9, and 6. And let's see how the patrons bet them at Ellis Park in the 5th. Number 7 is going off at 3-1. That's Dedicated Dame. Number 9 is, even there, 1-1. Redheads Are Lucky. Number 6 is at 4-1. That's Hold Your Bet. We got a quick little flash here. Number 1 is getting some play. Ms. Alluring is at 5-1. Now number 7 is at 5-2. That's Dedicated Dame. Number 9 still 1-1. Redheads Are Lucky. Well, it appears that number 7, Dedicated Dame, will be the favorite. And let me remind you again that we're going for 6 furlongs. One more time for fillies and mares 3 years old and up, with a purse of $5,000 up for grabs. And here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. Opalina Fay with early speed on the outside. Dedicated Dame running to the top. Liz Wood from between the horses. Cadillac's Love 4th in the early going. Forum's Lady moving up between horses. Redheads Are Lucky, and they go to near the top of the turn. Meadowlark further back. Hold Your Bet moving up the inside. Nana Flight on the outside. Miss Alluring, and 2 lengths back Gold Walk, and they're into the turn. Dedicated Dame holds on to a 1-length lead as Liz Wood comes alongside, now just half off the pace. Cadillac's Love runs 3rd through the turn. Big move on the outside by Redheads Are Lucky. Forum's Lady is 5th through the turn, a length and a half. Hold Your Bet comes driving up the inside. Meadowlark from further back. Then Opalina Fay, and they come to the quarter pole head-to-head. Liz Wood on the outside. Dedicated Dame on the inside. Top of the stretch. Redheads Are Lucky is up to be 3rd, middle of the track. Down the lane. They battle head-to-head before Liz Wood goes to the top. Dedicated Dame is 2nd. Meadowlark comes charging from off. Up the middle of the track, Redheads Are Lucky. Down the stretch, Liz Wood. Charging after comes Meadowlark. Liz Wood, Meadowlark, Redheads Are Lucky.
Liz Wood takes the 5th at Ellis Park this afternoon. Liz Wood is a 2-year-old chestnut filly by Ironwood out of Pioneer Liz, and ridden to victory again by Eusebio Razo Jr. That's 2 in a row for him. And in taking the 5th race, returned mutuals of 151.40, 51.20, and 8.80. And that winning tag there, 151.40, is the highest so far this year at Ellis Park. 14.20 was given Meadowlark. 14.20, 4.40. And number 9, Redheads Are Lucky, came in 3rd, 2.60. The exacta, numbers 5 and 10, $1,504, and the Quinella, $853.20. Not bad. We'll check out some more racing action after this commercial break.
In this valley, nature can't be hurried. It takes an entire growing season to get to this day. The best takes time, which is why Heileman's old-style beer is fully kreuzened, slowly and naturally. Kreuzening is an expensive, time-consuming method of double brewing for unmatched smoothness and drinkability. Nature can't be hurried, nor do we hurry Old Style, America's best brewed premium beer.
Young people from all walks of life have volunteered to take part in a frightening experiment.
Next.
For a short time each day, they are allowing their brains to be altered. Altered to the degree that paranoia has been induced. Altered to cause loss of motor functions. Altered to have adverse effects on reproductive organs. Altered to produce heart malfunction and destruction of brain cells to the point of memory loss and acceleration of the aging process. The most frightening part of this experiment is that it is not an experiment. It's what slowly happens to you when you keep smoking pot. No one has to alter your brain. You already volunteered to do it to yourself.
The 6th race at Ellis Park has 9 horses going postward, including a 1-1 entry from Billy G. Asherbranner. They'll be going for a distance of 6.5 furlongs for fillies and mares 3 years old and up. As I said, a field of 9 going postward for a claiming tag of $10,000. Let's see that post parade. Number 1, Lucky Diplomat. Bill G. Asherbranner, of course, the trainer. Fred De La Guardia, the jockey. 1A, Miss Crystal Lee, or Lay, L-E-I-G-H. Brent Bartram will be aboard. Number 2, Bantab. William Troll, the jockey. Ted W. Chalk, the trainer. 3, Tiffany's Jet, trained by Herbert K. Stevens, ridden by Charles Woods, Jr. Number 4, Della Joe. Jerry Romans, the trainer. Mike McDowell aboard. Number 5, Moonlight Party. Winston R. Skaggs, the trainer. Jesse Garcia, the jockey. Number 6, Temptation Love, owned and trained by Donald R. Young. Terry Warner, the jockey. Number 7, Swift and Sweet. Delmar Dobbs, the trainer. Ron Chandler, the jockey. And rounding up the field of 9 is number 8, Thunder and Rain. Jerry L. McClaney, the trainer. Brian Peck, the jockey. The track handicapped are liked 1, 2, and 3 in the 6th at Ellis. And let's see how the patrons there bet them this afternoon. Number 1, Lucky Diplomat, is at 1-1. Number 2 is at 9-2. And number 3 is 6-1. Number 4, which is Della Joe, is at 5-1. Number 8, Thunder and Rain, at 6-1. A little flash here. Miss Crystal Lay at 9-2 appears to be the one with the, or excuse me, I'm sorry. Lucky Diplomat appears to be the one that they like the most. Well, I'll remind you again that we should go to step 1 and repeat from the Rusty Sharp handbook. 6.5 furlongs, the distance, fillies and mares 3 years old and up, with a purse of $5,800 up for grabs in the 6th race at Ellis Park. And here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. Head-to-head break. Della Joe between the horses. Lucky Diplomat on strongly from between horses. Far outside, Thunder and Rain. Up the rail comes Bantab. They continue down the back stretch. Lucky Diplomat onto the front opens 1.5 lengths. Bantab is sagging the neck. Thunder and Rain is 3.5. Della Joe is 4th, 2 lengths. Moonlight Party moving up from off the pace. Swift and Sweet. 1.5 lengths further back is Miss Crystal Lee. Tiffany's Jet, trailing the field, Temptation Love. Into the turn. Lucky Diplomat is holding on to a couple of lengths. Thunder and Rain is second length. Della Joe. Bantab now backing up through the field. Miss Crystal Lee comes charging up from out of the back. Looking for room between horses, Swift and Sweet. Tiffany's Jet running up the outside. Between horses, Temptation Love. They come into the lane. Lucky Diplomat holding on to a couple of lengths. Coming right up is Miss Crystal Lee to overtake second. Thunder and Rain is third. From much further back, Tiffany's Jet. In the stretch run, Lucky Diplomat has the lead. A charging Miss Crystal Lee comes alongside. Lucky Diplomat going on by Miss Crystal Lee.
Miss Crystal Lee comes on fast there at the end. She wins the 6th at Ellis. Miss Crystal Lee is a 3-year-old dark brown or bay filly by Gold Stage out of Born to Behave, ridden to victory by Brent Bartram. I'm losing my voice. And taking the 6th race, return mutuals of $4.20, $4, and $2.60. That's the same, excuse me, that's not what I have. Number 1, I have number 2, or excuse me, 1A, that's right, I'm sorry, excuse me. As 1 and Lucky Diplomat came in second, they paid the same, of course. And the number 8 horse, Thunder and Rain, paid $3.80. The exacta, $32.20. The quinella for this race, $20.20. And that weekly brings us to the 7th race tonight at Ellis Park. Let's see here. It's going to be a race of 1 mile, a long one at last. For maidens, fillies, and mares 3 years old and up, we've got a field of 10 going postward, and let's take a look at them. Number 1, Bo Danzig. George M. Baker Sr., the trainer. Darrell Foster aboard. Number 1A, Brief Flame. Of course, George M. Baker Sr., again, the trainer. Mike McDowell, the jockey. Number 2, Private Legend, owned and trained by Raymond S. Lawrence, Jr. Eusebio Razzo, Jr., the jockey. See if he can win another one. Number 3, Courtesan, Timothy V. Kegel, the trainer. Brian Peck, the jockey. Number 4, where are you? There you are. Twirly Girl, Homero Hidalgo, the jockey. F. Lee McKinney trained this horse. Number 5, Don't Wake Me, Robert L. DeCinci, the trainer. Dana Robinson aboard. Number 6, High Spirits, Brian Almaretti, the trainer. William Trollo, the jockey. Number 7 is Barron's Ridge, Stephen L. Morgellon, the trainer. Scott Miller will be riding this horse. Number 8, Touch of Majesty, owned and trained by Michael Mann. Danny Cox aboard. And running out a field of 10, number 9, Balladina, Dana Zook, the jockey, and Freddie Burton, the trainer. The track Kennecatter this morning liked numbers 7, 1, and 4, Barron's Ridge, Bo Danzig, and Twirly Girl in the 7th race at Ellis Park. Let's see how the patrons like them. Quick flash right off the bat here. Number 4 is at 2-1. Number 7 is at 8-5. Barron's Ridge is at 8-5. Number 4 is Twirly Girl, 2-1. And the rest are, number 1, Bo Danzig, is at 5-2. And the rest are pretty much way out there. Let me remind you, going back to step 1 here, that the race is 1 mile in length for maidens, fillies, and mares 3 years old and up, with a purse of $6,900 up for grabs. And here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. Out alertly is Courtesan to an early lead. Quickly establishes a length and a half. Twirly Girl is second. High Spirits up between horses. From between horses, Don't Wake Me challenging for the lead. They head to the backstretch. Courtesan. Long length advantage on Don't Wake Me second a half. High Spirits is third. Early move by Barron's Ridge fourth, a length and a half. Touch of Majesty fifth, a neck. Twirly Girl a neck. Balladina on the outside is seventh a length. Brief Flame begins to move up on the outside. Then Bo Danzig, Private Legend. As they continue down the back stretch, Courtesan is the horse to beat, has 2 lengths. Barron's Ridge running second by 1. Brief Flame coming up from between horses. Don't Wake Me is fourth into the turn. Farther out, High Spirits. Up the rail comes Twirly Girl. Bo Danzig from out of the back. Touch of Majesty. Private Legend begins to run from off the pace. Balladina trails the field, and they have tightened considerably as they reach the quarter pole. Brief Flame has come on to the top. High Spirits running up the outside. Bo Danzig into the hunt. Barron's Ridge between horses. Courtesan. Private Legend. Twirly Girl. We're into the stretch run. Brief Flame holding on to just a slim lead with High Spirits right alongside Bo Danzig. Down the lane. Brief Flame holding on to the lead. High Spirits is second. Bo Danzig third. Stretch run. Brief Flame over High Spirits.
Brief Flame under the wire first in the 7th race at Ellis Park this afternoon. And as you can tell right here, it says Brief Flame in the Rusty Sharp Today at Ellis Park starter kit. He picked it right. I must say, he's very good. He's a 3-year-old bay filly, or she, excuse me, is a 3-year-old bay filly by Wardlaw out of Telenoid, and ridden to victory by Mike McDowell. And taking the 7th race, returned mutuals of $8, $4.20, $4.20. Number 6, High Spirits, $13.40 and $5.80. And of course, number 1, Bo Danzig, came in 3rd and pays $5.20 for that. The exacta was $233 even for this race, and the Quinella folks, $840 even for race number 7 at Ellis Park. Sorry I missed it. That brings us, of course, to race number 8. Let me reach for my piece of paper here. The starter kit is falling apart on me. Race number 8 at Ellis Park this afternoon will be contested over a distance of 1 mile, another 1-miler, for 3-year-olds and up who have never run 2 races, so the next best thing to a maiden. We got a field of 11 going posted for a claiming tag of $10,000, and let's see that post parade. Number 1, A Feared Affair. Lewis F. Wilson, the trainer. Travis Hightower aboard. Number 2, Star Glint, owned and trained by Jimmy L. Hell. Danny Soto, the jockey. Number 3, High Achievement, Donald R. Young, the trainer. Jesse Garcia aboard. Number 4, Duke Wakefield, George S. Berthold, the trainer. Mike Moran, the jockey. Number 5, Brian's Astra. John F. Noble trained this horse, ridden by Dana Robinson. Number 6 is Northern Sound. Charles Hunter, the trainer. Yaciblo Razzo Jr., the jockey. Number 7, Whirling Courage, owned and trained by Donald H. Devine. Ron Fletcher aboard. Number 8, Last Dawn. Dennis W. Lovell, the trainer. Darrell Foster, the jockey. Number 9, Colonel Steve. Leonard C. Hughes, the trainer. And Mike McDowell aboard. Lido Line, the number 10 horse, owned and trained by Judith A. Bray. John Griffin, the jockey. And rounding up the field of 11, Prima Boy. Pam Cohen, the trainer, and Julie Griffith will be the jockey. In the 8th race, the track handicapper liked 3, 4, and 1, which happens to be High Achievement, Duke Wakefield, and A Feared Affair in that order. Let's see how the patrons bet them at Ellis Park. Well, let's see here. Number 4 is Duke Wakefield, going off at 3 to 1, it appears to be. Number 7 at 5 to 1, that's Whirling Courage. 6, Northern Sound, 6 to 1. Number 1 is 13 to 1. Number 3 is 7 to 1, 7 to 1. Number 3, High Achievement, A Feared Affair at 13 to 1. Well, apparently, number 9, Colonel Steve's getting some play as well, 4 to 1. And I think number 4, Duke Wakefield, will be the is a horse that will be the favorite at Ellis Park this afternoon. Let's see. We're going for a distance of 1 mile for 3-year-olds and up who have never won 2 races, with a purse of $5,900 up for grabs. And here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. From between horses, Star Glint showing some early speed. Whirling Courage, full of run on the outside, going to the top. High Achievement is 3rd as they run to the back stretch, and Colonel Steve makes an early run from 4th. To the back stretch, A Feared Affair is 5th. Northern Sound between horses, further out, Lost Dawn. Gap of a length. Then comes Brian's Astra. 2 lengths further back is Prima Boy, Lido Line, and a distant trailer is Duke of Wakefield. As they continue to run the back stretch, Whirling Courage is open 2.5, Star Glen a neck. High Achievement is 3rd between horses a neck. Colonel Steve 4th by a length. A Feared Affair is 5th into the turn. Last on a length further back. Gap of a length to Northern Sound. Brian's Astra. Moving up from off the pace, Prima Boy. Then Lido Line, and a distant trailer remains Duke of Wakefield. As they come through the turn, Whirling Courage has led throughout, and he's holding on to a couple lengths. Star Glint, High Achievement, Colonel Steve. A Feared Affair comes running up the outside. Last Dawn, and they're at the quarter. From off, Brian's Astra begins to run. They're into the top of the lane. Whirling Courage has led throughout and is now about 3 lengths the best. A Feared Affair up the outside. Star Glint, High Achievement. Colonel Steve, And from much farther back, Duke of Wakefield. Down the stretch, wrapping it up, Whirling Courage, easily the best. A Fear to Fare up to be second, and Star Glen from further back, Prima Boy and Duke of Wakefield.
Whirling Courage whirls it away in the 8th race. Whirling Courage is a 3-year-old dark bay gelding by Whirling Saucer out of Olympia Lea, or Lay, L-E-A, ridden to victory by Ron Fletcher, and taking the 8th race at Ellis Park, paid mutuals of $13.60, $8.60, and $4.40. The number 1 horse, A Fear to Fare, ridden by Travis Hightower, $11.26.80, and coming in 3rd, Duke of Wakefield, number 4, ridden by Mike Moran. The Exacta 7-1 paid $214, and the Quinella $109.80. Well, the featured race is next on Today at Ellis Park. Stay tuned.
Not Budweiser.
A great beer like Budweiser has a lot of loyal customers.
Better than Bud?
So if you say you make a beer that's even better,
Old Style is better than Bud?
you're likely to get an argument.
Budweiser is the king of beers.
But if you've any doubts that Heileman's Old Style is truly a better brewed beer, just ask the beer drinkers of Chicago,
And they think this is better?
where Old Style's perfect brewing water and costly krausening help outsell Budweiser 3-1.
You're right. It is better.
Old Style,
Much, much better.
America's best brewed premium beer.
Much, 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 much better. Much, 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 much.
You know, hanging out's okay. Nothing to do but shoot the breeze and let the day pass. But after a while, you get the feeling there's got to be more to life. And your family starts bugging you to get serious about your future. But when it comes right down to it, it's your life, and you've got to make the move. So why don't you give it a shot and get going with your future? You'll be serving your country and yourself in the Air Force.
The 9th race at Ellis Park is the featured race. The run under allowance conditions for 3 years old and up. They cover the distance of 6 furlongs for a purse of $8,200 plus $3,300 added by the Kentucky Thoroughbred Development Fund. And let's check out that post parade. Number 1 horse, Rubik, Freddie Burton. The trainer, Dana Zook. The jockey number 2, Reva Pass, James F. Curtis. The trainer, Dan Isbell, the jockey. Number 3, Broadway Willie, Michael Ball. Trainer, Charles Woods Jr. will be aboard. Number 4, A Light Fortune, owned and trained by Gene Webb. Dana Robinson will ride this horse. Number 5, Tug, owned and trained by Arnold E. James. Mike Moran, the jockey. Number 6, Bunbury, James E. Hikes, the trainer. Mike McDowell will be riding this one. Number 7, Mountain Flight, Robert R. O'Connor II trained this horse, ridden by Brent Bartram, rather. And number 8, Sizzling Hell, Billy G. Ashebrander, the trainer. David Niblick, the jockey. That rounds out the field of 8 there, of course. The track handicapper liked the numbers 3, 7, and 8 this morning. And let's see how the patrons bet them at Ellis Park in the 9th. Number 7, which is Mountain Flight, is going off at 7-2. Number 3, Broadway Willie, 1-1. Number 1, Rubik, is at 4-1. Number 8's getting a little bit of play. Sizzling Hell is at 8-1. 6, Bunbury at 9-1. Number 4, What If It Wins, 70-1. What a payoff. Well, while we're waiting for them to queue up the start, I shouldn't say queue up, the 9th race at Ellis Park, let me remind you that tomorrow is the Gardenia Stakes race at Ellis Park. You can see that live at 5 o'clock on Cable Channel 7. And John R. White, our sometimes director, sometimes tape man, and all the times nice guy, is the cameraman at Ellis Park, and you get to see his work live. He does a wonderful job. Don't forget, it's at 5 o'clock, the Gardenia Stakes live on Cable Channel 7 tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I think they're about ready. Let's go to track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. Head-to-head break out of the starting gate as Broadway Willie runs to the front of the field, and Rubik in hot pursuit is second. Sizzling Hell running up the far outside. They continue down the backstretch. Bunbury between horses, 4th, a length and a half. Tug is 5th. 6th back is Reva Pass. Then comes A Light Fortune, Mountain Flight, and they go to the turn. On the lead is Broadway Willie. Has it by a length and a half. Sizzling Hell taking second, a length and a half. Rubik is third through the turn. Bunbury comes right alongside. Riva Pass is fifth, a length. Mountain Flight from further back. Then Tug. A Light Fortune, they're at the quarter pole. Broadway Willie has a couple. He comes to the top of the stretch. Broadway Willie, first onto the lane. Sizzling Hell running up between horses. Bunbury on the outside and Rubik up the inside. As they come down the lane, Broadway Willie still on the lead. He has it by a length and a half. Rubik on the inside getting his head up, coming right alongside Sizzling Hell. Stretch run, Broadway Willie.
Broadway Willie takes a total purse of $11,500 in the ninth. Broadway Willie is a 6-year-old chestnut horse by Broadway Forley, I believe, F-O-R-L-I, out of AM Receiver, and ridden to victory by Charles Woods Jr., and taking the ninth race returned mutuals of $4.80, $4, $2.60. The number 6 horse, I believe. No, number 8 horse, Sizzling Hell. Wasn't quite that sizzling. It came in second, though, $7.80 and $3.40. Rubik, third place, $3.80. The exacta for the featured race, $42.20. And that, of course, brings us up to the 10th race here at Ellis Park, or today at Ellis Park. Cover distance of 6.5 furlongs for three-year-olds and up. We've got a field of 12 going postward, and let's see those horses. Number 1, let me turn my pages here. I'm behind in my handbook. Running Dave, owned and trained by Shirley A. Green, Mitchell Humphrey, the jockey. Baron's Bullet is number 2, owned and trained by Danny Scott, Ron Fletcher aboard. Number 3, Kentucky Hoosier. Contradiction in terms there. That's owned and trained by Jesse T. McIntyre. Mike Moran will be aboard. Space Placed is number 4, Freddie LaGuardia, the jockey. Number 5, Second Patriot, Henry Miner aboard. Number 6 is Marinate. Robert D. Winstead, the trainer. Darrell Foster, the jockey. Number 7, Sunshine Road, Brent Bartram, the jockey. Billy E. Adams trained number 7, Sunshine Road. 8, Deb's Flash, owned and trained by Jimmy L. White, David Niblick aboard. Number 9, Jenny's Johnny. Steve Davidson, the trainer. Jesse Garcia will ride this one. And number 10, running out a field of 10, King Rob. Leroy L. Hellman, the trainer. And Mike McDowell is the jockey. Now let me see. Let me find my handbook again here. The morning handicapper liked the numbers 5, 3, and 4, and that just happens to be Second Patriot, Kentucky Hoosier, and Space Placed. Let's see how the people at Ellis Park bet these horses. 7-2, the number 6 horse, Marinate. Seems to be getting most of the action. Number 3, Kentucky Hoosier is at 3-1. Space Place is at 9-1. Second Patriot, 6-1. And number 8, Deb's Flash, is at 6-1. King Rob, number 10 horse, is at 3-1. So it appears the number 6 horse, Marinate, there must be something that I don't know about, which is quite possible that they like about this horse for some reason. Well, I think they're just about ready in there. Let me remind you that this 10th race is 6.5 furlongs long. We've got a field of 12, and it's a claiming tag of $2,500, a purse of $3,200. Now let's go to track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. Out alertly at the middle of the track is Sunshine Road. Up the inside is Baron's Bullet onto the front. Right alongside comes Kentucky Hoosier. Baron's Bullet takes the head up. Kentucky Hoosier second, 2 lengths. Marinate is third and neck. Between the horses is Sunshine Road. King Rob moving at the outside. Space Place comes up the rail. 2 lengths further back, Running Dave. Then Second Patriot. 2 lengths back, Deb's Flash, and another 3 back, Jenny's Johnny. Through the turn. On the lead is Baron's Bullet, has it by a length. Kentucky Hoosier runs second, 2 lengths. King Rob runs on to be third. Space Placed is fourth, another 2 lengths back. Deb's Flash, Sunshine Road. Up the rail comes Running Dave. From out of the back, Second Patriot, and they're past the quarter pole. King Rob moving alongside the leader as they head to the top of the lane. King Rob has the lead. Baron's Bullet Charging up from out of the back, Deb's Flash now comes alongside and overtakes the lead. From out of the back, Second Patriot comes running.
Deb's Flash wins the 10th at Ellis this afternoon. Deb's Flash is a 4-year-old chestnut gelding by Rule 4 out of Cold Blue, ridden to victory by David Niblick, and in winning the 10th race returned mutuals of 1680, 780, and 460. Second Patriot, 480 and 380, and the show horse, number 10, King Rob, paid $340. The exacta, number 8 and 5, was $101 even. The Quinella on the 10th race was 5 and 8, $42.20. And the Daily Double, the late Daily Double, 9 and 10 horses, number 3 and number 8, paying $55 and $40. Well, that appears to wrap it up, and I think I'm going to get out of here. Hunt, if you're watching, please warm up supper. I'm coming home. We'll see you tomorrow at the track at Ellis Park. Goodbye.
Join us each night except Monday at 8 o'clock for Ellis Park Racing, exclusively in Owensboro on Cable Channel 2. Ellis Park Racing on Cable Channel 2. Bet on it. You'll love it.